And then I was big, I was black, I had curly hair. Like, I just felt so like insecure. The reason why I think Western fat acceptance movement is so much more bigger is I never knew that being fat can make you die. Like, just be fat silently. Don't have to be loud about it. Hey guys, it's Jermaine and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Jermaine. I make videos about the fat acceptance, fat liberation, body positive movement. And sometimes I share with you guys my personal story times of what it was like for me as an obese person, someone who was definitely influenced by the fat acceptance movement. So if you're into those kind of content, you'd like to hear the stuff I have to say, then you might want to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And if you're returning to my channel, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being a part of my little family here on YouTube. I know I disappeared for a while, I think 2 weeks to be exact. Guys, there were just so many things going on in my life. So first week I had my wisdom tooth pulled out. I couldn't speak, I couldn't record a video. And then last week I had a family member pass away and I couldn't film a video. Like, I was not in the right headspace. I was running around doing errands and stuff like that until the funeral. The funeral was on Thursday. It was just like 2 weeks of just back-to-back stuff going on. And then I felt sick. I had an asthma attack and it was just a whole thing. And I'm finally like recovered. I'm finally in the right headspace again. That's why I'm filming. So in case you're worried and you thought like I had vanished and I stopped making videos, no, that's not the case. I had some messages, people asking me like, what happened? Are you okay? I am fine. Thank you for asking. Thank you for caring. Like, I didn't even think people would notice that I didn't upload a video, but like, it means a lot that you even noticed. By the way, I also did something really stupid along the way. I had too much time on my hand after removing my wisdom tooth. I was just in a funk, and then I randomly decided to cut bangs, and I genuinely thought I'd be able to pull it off. Anyway, today's video is a little different from my usual video because I'm answering you guys' questions. I know it's long overdue. I posted this asking you guys to send me questions like so long ago, and then I'm doing it only now after so long. But here we are. So today I'm going to be answering your questions. Most of the questions are from the questions you guys posted under the community post that I made. And then some questions are from, I didn't get many questions. I was like, okay, let me just go through some of my other videos because I always get questions on my videos itself. And so I thought, let's just go through those videos and see what people usually comment or ask. And maybe I've not seen the questions. So I decided, let me just compile them and answer them in this video. So today I'm answering your questions. So without chatting any further, let's just get right into it. So the first question someone asked is, also most of the questions that you guys ask are all related to weight loss and stuff like that. The first one is, how do you motivate yourself to exercise? I really hate it, but I want to stay fit and healthy. Okay, so how do I motivate myself? I feel like there's many stages to it because when I initially started working out, all I had in mind was to find something that I love and it's a movement type thing, because I learned that basically any kind of movement, as long as you're moving for a long period of time, like doing some type of movement, even walking, you're burning a lot of calories. That's exercise. So for me, I needed to find something that I enjoyed, and I loved dancing. Even when I was like really obese, I used to be in my school cheerleading squad, and I was like the only fat one on team. I think they wanted some diversity, and that's why they got me on the team. But I used to love dancing. Okay, so that's how like I expressed myself. So what I did was, in the beginning, I would imagine that I was 1/4 of Little Mix. You guys know I used to be obsessed with that band Little Mix, and so I used to imagine, so I would learn their choreography and I would imagine that I am one of the girls doing the choreography. Maybe sometimes I'll be Leanne, sometimes I would be Jessie. Like, I would just switch roles, but I would be one of the girls and then like putting on the performance. So I'd memorize the dance moves, and I would do that for like a good 15 to 20 minutes. Or sometimes I would imagine that I was like a backup dancer. I would imagine that I was like a backup dancer for like Jason Derulo or like Chris Brown or something, and then I would learn like the dance moves, or I would come up with my own dance moves, and then I would like full on break it down on the dance floor in my living room, and that would be the workouts that I would do. So basically I would just find, for me, dancing was my favorite thing to do, and I would be doing that for 20 minutes. Sometimes I'll be doing it, then I'll take a short break, and then but the music keeps going, and then I'm just like so pumped that I cannot sit down for too long, so I get up and continue. And you are working out, you're burning calories. So for me, dancing was my favorite thing to do, and that was what I do. Working out is not even that hard. I think when people think working out, they automatically think, oh, I have to go to the gym, and then I have to like do one of those like leg press things, or I have to like lift weights, run on the treadmill, or use elliptical, which is actually not true. You can just move doing whatever. as long as it's a movement. Even if you're at home, you're watching a favorite TV show, instead of like sitting down and watching it, just stand in one spot and march. If the show that you're watching, like it's an episode of like a TV series that's 30 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever, then just stand and march in one spot for that amount of time. Another thing that I used to do, what motivates me, is watch other people's YouTube videos of their workout routine, of like a week of working out with me, those type of stuff. And when you watch these things, you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, I want to get up and start doing something as well. I can't sit down like this. It's very inspiring. So I always like guard my mind with content as well, because if you watch the right kind of content, it will really inspire you as well. Find friends. Have like a circle of friends that are fit and healthy, and be accountable to them. Badminton was my favorite thing to do, and so my accountability was, I made an appointment with my friends that we are going to do badminton this Saturday. We used to do badminton like I think twice a month on a weekend on a Saturday. So whether I like it or not, I know that I already gave my word. I have to be there. Accountability. God, my answer is so long. I hope I get through all of this quick. Okay, next one. What do you think personally was the biggest factor in your obesity? Was it the type of food, the amount, the lack of exercise, stress eating, using food to cope, etc.? This is such a good question. I actually did cover a little bit of this in some of my old videos where I shared how I got fat, how I lost weight, blah blah. I don't feel like my obesity had to do with anything emotional per se, because I was not like emotionally eating. Although later in life, when I'm stressed, I would eat. When I'm sad, I would eat, things like that. But initially, what made me obese was definitely the fact that it came from lack. And so whenever I had an opportunity to eat, I would kind of like look at it as if like, oh, this is my only opportunity to eat. And I don't know why, but somehow like food just made me so happy. And so whenever I would eat, I didn't know how to stop. No matter how full I got, like I just never know how to stop. And then I also had a mom who, because I had a background of having gastric, my mom never would say no to food. So if I said I was hungry, that was like a trigger word for her. If I said I was hungry, she's like, oh, we need to feed this kid. If I'm hungry, we need to feed her. So even if I ate like a whole plate of rice, but I said I'm hungry, my mom's gonna be like, oh, okay, then have another plate of rice. Have everything in the kitchen. Like, go ham. And maybe I was a little bit unhappy as well, because I didn't like myself. I didn't like the way I looked. I was gradually becoming bigger than other people, other kids. So what initially started off as me just eating a little bit more than other kids made me become like so big. And then I was big, I was black, I had curly hair. Like I just felt so like insecure and I didn't fit in. And the more I hated myself, the more I wanted to eat. And the only thing that brought me joy was eating. I never became obese until I was like 18 years old. I think I was like 18 years old, 19 years old. No, I think I was always obese, but I was never like class 3 obese, where I couldn't fit in some chairs. Like I was never that stage when I was a teenager. I only got to that stage when I was like 18, 19 years old, where I would walk and my leg would hurt. I couldn't walk anymore. I'm a newbie to your channel and I was wondering, where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? I really like your accent. Oh, thank you so much. I'm Malaysian, but my ethnicity is Congolese. My dad's from Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo. My mom is Indian, Malaysian Indian. I'm 100% Malaysian. Like I speak Bahasa. That's my second language. So yeah, Malaysian. What are your thoughts on fat acceptance / body positivity activists equating being fat to being oppressed? Specifically, how they equate being fat as being black and facing racism, for example. Because I'm from Malaysia, I don't know the extent of racism or things that are talked about in the US except from whatever that I see on the news, whatever I see on like YouTube videos and stuff like that. But in Malaysia, we do have like severe racism. There are like legal laws that are written that serve the majority race in our country over the minority. Although it took the majority and the minority race to build this country into what it is, there is like very clear racism even within like our law. There are things that the majority race get that the minority race don't get. And the minority race has to just work extra harder in this country to get to where they want to get. And even if you're a minority race and you, like for example, start a business, there are some businesses that you cannot run in this country without having a majority race person as one of the directors in your company. So the majority race may not even have to do anything. They don't need to bring money. They don't need to know anything about your business. They just need to sit down there as a director. And only then you can have this business. Like you can open up this business. And I know this personally because I had a friend of mine who wanted to start a business. And this was one of the rules that she had to follow. And because of that, she didn't go through with that particular type of business, so she had to do something else instead. So things like this is very clear racism. But what I find really funny is my country, we also have our fair share of fat acceptance, body positive movement, health. And I think it's so interesting when they talk about, when they equate, because they don't equate fat acceptance or body positive to racism, not that I've heard of. But what they do is, these are people who are, some of them are minority race people, asking to be treated the same as everyone else, how they want laws to change to be accepting of fat people. And this is what really makes me laugh, because I don't know of any law or anything in this country that's implemented that would not serve fat people, or like would outcast you or put you aside. Like, I don't know of anything.
Squad is a group fighting for fat liberation. Access to justice to us means to be able to be seen as worthy, to have our voices heard and our struggles seen, and to challenge discrimination done against fat people, and to be involved in lawmaking decisions that affect us. We are often mistreated, stigmatized, and discriminated against on the...
I have been obese like majority of my life. I have never in my life been put in a situation where, because I'm obese, I didn't get a certain opportunity. Or, I mean, like, I'm talking about legally, okay? I'm talking about laws. I'm not talking about people side-eyeing you because you're fat. I'm talking about legal rights and opportunities. I have never in my life heard or been or experienced being pushed aside or not allowed to do something because of my size. So I just don't get that part. Like, it's so wild to me. But when it comes to like other countries, guys, I'm not sure. You have to educate me on these things, because I'm not from the US. I've heard people say like, the oppression they face as being fat in America and how they correlate it to racism, which I honestly don't get at all. Are there any weight loss / anti-fat acceptance YouTube channels you like to watch? Ooh, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really watch many fat acceptance, anti-fat acceptance YouTube videos. Okay, firstly because it's a very selfish reason, but I don't want anyone to influence my thoughts, and I'm afraid that if I watch those videos, then I would kind of like be saying the exact same thing or copy pasted things, which I don't want. I want my thoughts to be my own thoughts. Although I used to watch one very controversial channel before I started my channel. Sometimes I still watch him. His name is something Butterfield. I think I'll put it over here so you guys can check it out. I used to sometimes watch Alan Roberts. Michelle McDaniel is one of my favorites. Although Michelle McDaniel, I started watching her not because of the fat acceptance stuff. I started watching her because she had like a lot of insight when it comes to like weight loss and stuff. So I used to watch her back when I was on a weight loss journey. I still am on a weight loss journey, but back then when I didn't know what the heck I was doing, I was watching her. What are your thoughts on the difference between the Western fat acceptance movement versus Asian view on being fat? Ooh, that's a good question. The reason why I think Western fat acceptance movement is so much more bigger, and it's kind of like inspiring the entire world, including Malaysia, my country. First thing, I think Western culture is very accepting of people. Like, you all have a very like arms wide open, we accept you and your differences and however that you come just as you are. Like, it's a very accepting culture, which is why I love Western culture. I'm very inspired by Western culture, whether it's American or British culture, but especially American culture. I think you guys are very like accepting of people and very like understanding and very open. You are very open-minded, very open, which is why like whenever anybody wants to like achieve dreams or want to do something in life, they always say like go to America, because you give opportunity to like everybody. As long as people are willing to work hard, they can do whatever they want and they can achieve their dreams, which is a beautiful thing. I just love that about your country. Whereas Asian culture is not so much that way. It's a very close-minded culture. So I think like the fat acceptance movement here in Malaysia or even Asia is very small. They try, but it's because they're putting their stuff on social media. It looks like as if it's pretty big. But if you go out on the streets, firstly is you don't see that many fat people on the streets, which is why until today I feel like I'm really, really big compared to other Asians, because it's not a thing. If you're big, even if you're slightly bigger than you should be, when you go out there, people will let you know. So fat acceptance is not really like a really big thing here in my country, because people are not very accepting of that. So it's not easy to be fat. Do I think that it's a good thing that people are insulting people for being fat or giving them a side eye or saying things? No, absolutely not. I don't. But at the same time, I don't think that just because of that, we need to go to the extreme opposite and be like, yeah, pro-fat. You know what I mean? Like, just be fat silently. Don't have to be loud about it. Do you think that the food industry may have anything to do with fat acceptance? Example, paying the dietitians and influencers on social media. I love your videos. Oh, thank you. Okay, here is where I feel like we might agree to disagree, because like I told you guys, I became obese not from eating a bunch of junk food every single day. Yes, there was a period of time I was eating like McDonald's every single day, which contributed to me being even bigger than I already was. But I was already obese even while eating like pretty healthy food. And that was because of portions. And there are also a lot of people out there who are not fat, who eat pretty unhealthily as well. So I think it's just about portion when it comes to what makes you fat. That is what I think primarily is the reason why people are fat. And then of course you have the side where you eat like a cheeseburger, for example, or if you eat like a sandwich that you made at home, the cheeseburger has way more calories than the sandwich that you made at home. So although in size it looks like the same, it has more calories that attributes to you gaining weight. And then like people eat like unhealthy things like chips and all of those kind of stuff, which is also not good, and it's high in calorie compared to like eating something more natural that you make at home and stuff, which I agree. But for me, I still think like at the core, it is people eating too much food that makes you fat. Whereas if we're going to talk about being unhealthy as a whole, then yeah, I would definitely agree that I think that the food and stuff. But I don't understand what you mean by paying the dietitians and influencers on social media. Do you think that food industry may have anything to do with fat acceptance? I don't get the part where you say, example, paying dietitians and influencers on social media. Guys, I don't know if I'm just dumb that I don't understand the question. When I think food industry, I'm thinking that you're talking about literally the food industry, like the food that they sell in the shops or restaurants. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think the fat acceptance movement will continue to grow in popularity as obesity rates rise around the world? Or do you think that the tide will turn sooner than later? Love your videos. Thank you for loving my videos. And I do think that this is literally just a phase. It's gonna go away. Because first of all, you cannot be morbidly obese and not die. At some point, you are going to be over. And there is a whole group of people proving that point. There's a whole group of people also proving the point that at some point you're going to get sick. And then they decide to go on some kind of weight loss journey. At some point, they're going to realize that the fatness on their body is taking a toll on their health. And some people are going to decide to have a wake-up call and do something about it. And then they're going to stop promoting fatness. Like Lizzo. Next question. Well, I have a question. How can I avoid boredom binging? Did I just say binging? How can I avoid boredom binging? I sometimes mindlessly start binging without control. Thanks, I really like your videos. Keep it up. Thank you so much. How I avoid boredom binging is I just don't allow myself to be bored. I know it sounds ridiculous. It's like, what? Don't everybody be bored? Yes, that's true. You do get bored sometimes. But don't allow yourself to be sitting in a situation where you are just mindlessly doing nothing, because then you're going to think of food. So constantly be doing something. For me, what I do is if I'm watching a TV show, I'm either painting my nails, I'm walking in one spot, I'm doing something like exporting videos, or like I'm doing something. I make sure that I'm not sitting down there doing nothing. If I am sitting down and eating, it's because I want to be sitting down and eating. If I'm sitting down and eating chips, it's because I want to be doing that. Don't sit down and do nothing if you know that you're going to end up wanting to eat. Don't allow yourself to be bored. Where are you from? I love your accent, love your commentary. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm from Malaysia. Malaysia, truly Asia. Malaysia, truly Asia. Can you share how you lost weight? I actually have videos where I share how I lost weight. I'll link it over here. You can go check it out. The next question. I'm glad you are here to warn young women about the dangers of fat acceptance movement. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I'll sneak a few questions in from people who may be afraid to take the plunge with health and fitness. Did you get a lot of loose skin, and if so, how did you deal with it? Ooh, this is such a good question. Okay, so I didn't get loose skin, but I definitely got like, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, where your skin is like a bit, it's not loose skin as in like where it's hanging. But if you pinch my skin, you can tell like, oh, okay, the part where I've lost weight, because my skin is like thin over there, like you can pull a little bit, but it's not like where it's so obvious. So if I'm like normal, you don't really see, like my skin doesn't fold or it doesn't flap. When I say flap, I'm thinking of what Adam Sandler's movie Click, where he's like flap, flap, flap.
That's not bad for your third liposuction. One more tummy tuck should take care of it. Do that if you... Would you stop flapping that thing?
It's my flap. I'll do whatever the hell I want with it.
But yeah, it doesn't like hang like that. And I think it's because I did lose weight gradually. I didn't lose like a lot of weight very quickly. I lost weight in a span of like 2 years, of like a little bit, then here and there I would gain a little bit more, and then I would lose. Like even right now, like I still have a little bit more weight to lose, but it's like very gradual. It's not like a very quick, where for 3 months or for 6 months I'm just going to do this straight and then I lose all the weight. Like that was not how my weight loss journey went, and I think that's why I didn't have loose skin. How did you deal with loved ones trying to sabotage your efforts? I didn't really have loved ones who sabotaged my effort. I thank God for that. But I did have, people in my life who mindlessly, like they didn't know what they were doing, but they were technically, I would say, sabotaging me, but they didn't realize it. They were not doing it on purpose. So I needed to tell people, like, don't speak to me, leave me alone during the weekday. They said, if you want to hang out with me, we'll hang out on Saturday, because that's the only day that I'm eating out. That's the only day that I'm like having a little bit more fun. I need to tell my family members to stop talking to me about food. Just don't remind me about food. Don't show me anything about food. Just leave me alone. And they were nice enough to accept it. How did you deal with losing friends after your weight loss, if you lost any? I didn't lose any friends, but I definitely spent lesser time with people who ate a lot. So I didn't lose them. I just didn't join them in a lot of things, and we slowly like distance ourselves, and it was fine. Lovely idea. My question would be, do you remember your first or most memorable non-scale victory after/during weight loss? Mine was probably being able to cross my legs without holding on to my ankle with my hands. Such small thing, but it blew my mind. Ooh, that is such a good one. Being able to cross your legs. Okay, yeah, that's oh wait, do you mean like when you sit? Okay, I get what you mean. Where you sit like a lady and then you try to pull your leg. Actually, you know what? For me is I was being able to cross your legs under the table, because cause my thighs are so huge. When I cross my leg, I cannot cross my leg under the table, so I had to come out of the table to cross my leg. But yeah, crossing my leg under the table is a thing. I think for me, my non-scale victory would be when I would wear t-shirts and it would just flow down, because before that my shirts couldn't go over my butt, couldn't go over, so I kind of looked like Amberlyn Reid here.
From the front, it looks okay. It looks fine. Like, I love the sleeves more than anything. But then I turn around and you see my big caboose, and the shirt will not go over my butt at all.
Not as big as that, but that's how I kind of look. Like, my shirts would never go down. So the first time I was able to like start wearing my shirts, the same shirts that I've always had, but suddenly it would go down over my butt smoothly, that was like a whoa. And then I think also like being able to fit into seats, like certain seats, and not feel like I get stuck in it, not get stuck in certain seats. Yeah, that was like a non-scale victory. Thank you for taking my suggestion. Yes, this is the person who suggested, Mr. Nobody suggested that I do questions. Oh my god, Mr. Nobody sent me a lot of questions. Let's see how many we can get through. What's your country of origin? Have you ever traveled? Can you talk about beauty standards, experience of fat people in your country versus other countries? I'm from Malaysia. I've only ever traveled within Southeast Asia. I've never been out of Southeast Asia. Although I am planning to go to Australia, I've always like dreamt of migrating to a Western country, and Australia is a Western country and it's the closest to Southeast Asia, so I kind of like am planning to migrate there. My sister lived there for a while and she's going back there again, and she loves Australia, so that's that. Beauty standards, I think beauty standards in Asia, it's always tinier, straight hair, light skin, period. Everything that I am not, literally. When I say light skin, I don't mean like Beyonce light skin. When I say light skin, I mean like white light skin. So like Westerners, they come to my country, white people, they love it here because they are the pinnacle of beauty in Malaysia. Or like Japanese girls, Korean girls, just all this like really fair, small size, straight hair kind of girls are the beauty standards in this country. That's for sure. Who does your hair? It always looks so good. Do you do it yourself? When I do braids, it's actually my stepmom, my dad's wife. She does my braids for me. Other than that, I just wash it and then I just put like leave-in conditioner and stuff. So technically, I do my own hair. How has weight loss affected your food experience? Do you find yourself craving the things you used to eat less, or are your habits basically the same but just smaller portions? Ooh, just smaller portions. I listen to my body more, so now I get like sick of certain foods sometimes very quickly. Like last time I could eat like McDonald's, McFlurry and apple pie, and then now if I'm going to McDonald's, if I'm eating a meal, I'm not ordering ice cream. If I'm ordering ice cream, I'm not eating a meal, like things like that. Or before, it would be like McFlurry and large fries. Now it's McFlurry and a tiny fry if I really want fries. And sometimes I would like share it with someone so that I don't eat too much. Buy things in smaller portions, like instead of buying family pack size, I buy like one piece, things like that. But I don't really go around craving snacks like I used to, unless it's that time of the month. What are your favorite exercises or ways to keep active? I love walking. But besides that, if it's cardio, I love dancing. Like I love imagining that I'm putting on a full performance, and then like I would create a playlist of all the songs that I'm gonna perform, and then I would like full on dance choreography, like break it down on the dance floor. But yeah, that's literally like my favorite go-to workout. It's dancing if I need cardio, and then I would do like some strength training after that. But dancing and walking, I love walking. Walking just makes me feel so like relaxed, peace of mind. I'm one with nature. And then sometimes I listen to a podcast and do it. Sometimes I'll pray and talk to God as I do it. I love walking so much. Was there a specific moment when you were obese and into fat acceptance that it finally clicked and you realized that it was a lie and you needed to change? Or was it more of a gradual realization? Okay, you know what it is? I feel like when I was in fat acceptance, it was a lot of me believing that people owed me something, or like people were not seeing something within me that I truly was, because I was taught to believe that I am beautiful just the way that I was, and I didn't need to change, and that people were the problem for not seeing that.
There's nothing wrong with my body. Fat is not a dirty word.
And I think it came to a place where I was sick and tired of living that way, because honestly I myself didn't see myself as beautiful, but I was like expecting everyone else to see that, and hoping that at some point people would see that, and like at some point the world would change, or the world needed to change to see that I was beautiful, when I myself didn't see it and I myself didn't believe it. And I think after some time I just kind of got like tired of that, and I also never thought that it was possible for me to change. Like I never thought that I could actually do something to lose the weight. I just thought this is who I was, because I was convinced that it's genetics. And so that's why I was so desperate for people to just accept me as a fat person. Until I one day had a realization that I can actually change my life. I can actually lose the weight, and people are actually doing it. And I saw people do it. That made me think, okay, if I can't convince the world, then maybe it's about time I try to just change. Oh, also the biggest one for me was health scare, because I didn't know that being overweight can affect your health, like your organs, like your heart. Like I could get a heart attack. That I didn't know. Especially the way that I was eating, the way I was living. Like I could get diabetes, I could get a heart attack, and those were the things that I didn't know. And so that kind of like also made me realize that if being fat was okay, and I wanted people to accept me as a fat person and people to see me as beautiful, but then this could also kill me, then how is this like a good thing? Like I shouldn't be wanting people to accept me as a fat person when this body can actually harm me and kill me. That was also another realization I had. Someone actually spoke to my mom, and my mom told me what the person said, kind of like shook me, because I never knew that being fat can make you die. So yeah, these are the questions. I hope I answered everybody's questions, because I felt like the questions were like, some were on video, some were in this post. I hope I covered everyone's questions. Let me know if you have any other questions. You can comment down below. Maybe I should do another one of this. Let me know if you want me to do another one of this. I'm actually thinking of going live on YouTube. I'm just trying to figure out like how to go about it, because I'm from Malaysia. I noticed that most of my viewers are from the US, but then again, the US, you all have like different time zones. A majority of my viewers are coming from New York, from what I've seen, New York and LA, but I'm also not sure if that is very accurate. I would love to know where you guys are from. It would really like help me understand better who's watching my videos, like where you guys are from. You guys keep asking me where I'm from. Well, you tell me where you're from. I would love to know where you guys are from. Comment down below and let me know. And also, I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell, because I upload new videos at least once a week. Apologies for my bangs. I promise you guys this will grow out soon. I'm sorry for this weird look that I got going on. I'll try to put it away next time. But I hope you guys liked this video. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. The links are in the description box below. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you in my next video.